Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight's post-game press conference. Get right to it with an opening statement from Coach Hack, followed by questions. So, Coach, you got the floor.
Yeah, first of all, sorry for making you guys wait. We had to have a little come to Jesus moment in the locker room there. The second thing is that performance is embarrassing and not acceptable to our club, not acceptable to the city, not acceptable to the fans who invest so much time, energy, money into us. So we're embarrassed and we have to own that. I'll let you guys ask questions.
Thanks, Coach. Tom?
Where did that begin with the players? I mean, you obviously give up an early goal, and it's just from the very start, is it just not there?
No, not necessarily. Look, we have some problems, and I can't sit here right now and tell you exactly what it is. But when you're playing a good team, and Vancouver's a good team, we know how they're going to try to play against us. If we aren't able to defend just the general ideas of what an opponent is going to do against us, we don't have a lot of chance to win an MLS soccer game. I give our team a lot of credit for coming back into the game, for getting an equalizer. That's 2 weeks in a row that we did that. We'll try to build on that for sure. But to give up one at the very end of the half, again, on a very, I would say, predictable type ball that should not beat us, and to have the heads go down and the body language, it's something, again, I don't want to sit here and tell you that I have all the answers right now, because I don't, but I don't want to defend things that aren't real. And I want to make sure that I can look at the game film, talk to the players, talk to the staff, and try to fix as much as we can in a short amount of time as we head into Seattle.
And did the players' response, presumably they saw what we all saw? It was not a good outing.
Yeah, I think the players are embarrassed too. But, as the interim head coach, I have to take responsibility for that. And we have to evaluate whether it was our tactics, whether there was something that we did, and we did things differently. I'm happy to talk to you about that if you want. But at the end of the day, Vancouver's a team who plays a certain way, and we have to be able to at least at a minimum collectively come together as a group and work towards that. And that didn't happen for us.
Justin?
Coach, it might be some more of the same of what you already said, but last week you said you were kind of looking for progress, and this match was strikingly similar to the loss last week in Colorado. Are there any things that you can kind of point to right now off the top of your head that did feel like progress, or is it just one of those performances where you had to look at everything?
Yeah, there's not a lot you can point at as a positive. There's not.
What are the options going forward here?
Look, we're still a team that we're not at full strength, and I don't want to make any excuses, but we will have more options heading into Seattle because we'll have a couple players that are coming back from injury. And then we have the summer transfer window that opens, and we'll have players that we've already brought in that will be available for for Saturday in Kansas City. And that's the options. But it starts on the training field that we have to get our mentality right. We have to get the competitive nature of these guys are good soccer players. There's no doubt about that. But we have to bring them together, play collectively, and then try to go out and show our fans, ourselves, that this kind of performance is unacceptable.
Was there anything in practice this week that seemed that this might be in the offing?
Nothing on the field. Nothing on the field. I felt good about the practices. The guys certainly worked hard, put in a good shift, that kind of thing. But at the same time, we have things wrong that we have to do a better job identifying. And again, I'm going to hold myself accountable for that.
Defensively, you alluded to, the goals look like so many other goals where guys get loose and there's no one, and Brian White is alone, which seems like not probably wasn't in the game plan. I mean,
Probably not.
no.
Probably not.
So, I mean, when you see those same things happening defensively, what does that say?
It says that we're not a very good team right now, quite candidly. And so, we gotta, I don't want to say too many cliches here. All right. We didn't play well. That's not acceptable in this building, and we have to go fix it. And the only way we can get better is by fixing one thing at a time. And we thought we had fixed those through the week. We felt really positive about it. I even felt positive at halftime that despite giving up that goal late, we could get back into this game. And for about 10 minutes in the second half, it looked like we could find the equalizer and then put it on our terms. That didn't happen for us. And, then the other goals come, and those are not acceptable, and especially the reactions of the group.
Got time for one more. We'll go to Justin.
Just to kind of focus on things individually for a moment, Nökkvi Thórisson has kind of been a striker by necessity over the past month or so, but it seems like he has shown some progress, especially with the 2 goals against the Whitecaps. Do you like what you see out of him as a striker outside of everything else that happened tonight?
Yeah, I think Nökkvi is, I don't want to say anything positive in this press conference because there's not a lot to say, but if you look at Nökkvi, he has been asked to play out of position and done an admirable job of that and provided with us with some goals. And, so there is still positives in there. The problem is not necessarily any individuals. It's more of a collective. We're not a good team right now, and we gotta fix that. Thank you.
For joining us. Appreciate it. Oh, Tom.
John was talking about you guys talking in the room about tonight's performance. What was your take on tonight's performance and how not good it was?
It was horrible. It was a horrible performance. Bad body language. Just as we spoke about, no belief, no desire, no hunger to win. We defended horrible. The goals we defended is just very bad. That's the straight truth.
Any idea why that would be?
I mean, we have to analyze that. I don't know. We have to figure it out within the group what the problem is. Why we have performances like this. San Jose, we have an amazing game. Yeah, Colorado in many ways wasn't that bad of a game at 2-1. We can still do something. Then we end up losing 4-1, which sounds very high and wasn't deserved. But today the performance was just very bad.
Did it feel that way right from the start?
I wouldn't say so. I don't think it was a bad first half. It was not that, Vancouver had a lot of chances. They were just circulating the ball the entire time, and we were just running back and forth and back and forth. Our pressing wasn't good. It wasn't, we didn't wait for the right triggers. We were not, the intensity was not there when we were pressing, but they still didn't have a lot of chances. We had just caught sleeping a couple times, and that's why we concede easy goals.
Justin.
Eddie, last week, Coach Hackworth talked about kind of the moments in that game where you could have kind of taken control down 2-1. There's some similar moments in this match, especially after the halftime, the first 15 minutes of that second half. It seemed like there was a lot of momentum going your way. What do you think kind of happened after those 15 minutes where you had the momentum, where you had the opportunities, and then Vancouver back the other way?
Yeah, I don't know. These are moments that kind of, and I'm not searching for excuses. We have to get this out of our head. But the first half, in my opinion, is a penalty. We don't get it, and it's kind of in our head already. Whenever there's a 50-50 decision, or whenever, or even a clear decision, it goes against us. And then it's kind of the mentality goes down right away. They score. Okay, we were very positive. You can tell guys have a good body language. We come back right away. Score a goal. We come back. Then we can see the second goal, and then we are kind of frustrated. We come out. Okay, we are going after it again. We have the chance to score, and score a second goal, we don't, and then concede a third goal, and then it's over. Like, guys, we are just, yeah, lifting our heads down. With the heads down, you can just tell that the body language is not there, and we just don't have the belief to turn it around again, and that's just not good enough. There has to be more hunger, more desire to win the game.
Is that something that fixes itself after if you can put together a couple of wins, or is it something that in training that needs to be worked on more, that you need to have more of a discussion about?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if the problem is in the group, and I've been here now for 2 years. In Germany, there's a lot of, or in Europe, there's a lot of more pressure. You get a lot of more pressure from the fans, and I'm not saying this is good. Like, that's why I enjoy America. That's why I enjoy these fans, because they are loyal. They are supporting you all the time. Like, even today, like after the game, still chanting for you. But I don't know if it's the mentality for some guys, like kind of, all right, and this year we are not making it to the playoffs. I don't know. I'm asking that myself. Because like in Europe, there's a lot of more pressure because you can get promoted to, or you can, yeah, go to the second league. You can go down, it's not just, yeah, like this year it didn't work out. We are trying next year, there's a lot more pressure. There's a lot more on the line. I don't know if that is the problem. But we need to find a way. We need to find a way to figure this out, and it's not just a thing that will fix itself. We have to figure it out as a team, collectively, all together, and we have to be very critical with ourselves.
After tonight's tough loss, how are you guys gonna deal with this upcoming road trip with games in Seattle and Kansas City?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to have a sit down with the guys, and we need to talk about that. A performance like this today is just not gonna work out, and it's just unacceptable. What we did today is unacceptable. And as I said in Colorado, okay, like we shouldn't have lost the game 4-1. That was a very high result, but there was at least a desire there. But today was just an unacceptable performance, and um. I would say now we have 2 games coming up, and we have to get points. We have to be able to deal with the pressure to get at least 3 points. And then we have the Leagues Cup coming up, which is a good thing. We have a couple of guys coming in, and then we need to figure this out. And we need to have belief in ourselves again that we are able to turn this around. Yeah, so I think this is then for us kind of a reset, and we have to use that.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tom.
Chris, does this situation with the team, does it get fixed on the field, or does it has to get fixed within the team and in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it has to get fixed in the locker room. I think, you could see on the pitch right now, it's a fragmented group. It's not a group that's together. And, it's frustrating to me, especially, we've talked about it. It's a sellout crowd. And to walk into the tunnel with a performance like that is frustrating and embarrassing for the fans. So we need to do everything possible. Words are cheap right now. I think action is the most important. So we can talk all we want, but it's the action that counts.
So what was Hackworth was talking about, you having talking to the team and really, expressing his displeasure with it. I mean, how do you react? How does the team react to when kind of getting called out on that?
Yeah, and rightly so. We should be called out. This is a performance-based job, and we're not performing well. I think I spoke about it earlier. Pressure is important in our industry. You either rise to the top or you crumble. And right now we've got to figure out a way to rise back to the top. I look back only 2 months ago and we were a team that was performing well. Yeah, we were drawing a lot of results, but still really in the games. And yeah, it's frustrating. I know we can talk about injuries and we can talk about decisions and all this stuff, but it's what we can control.
Chris, you're down 2-1, but coming out of half, those first 15 minutes, St. Louis really had momentum going forward, and it looked like there was a chance to equalize. Then Vancouver comes the other way. During that time, when you're pressed into the final third and you're getting shots on net, was there a thought that things were going your way, or what was the feeling at that moment before things turned around?
Yeah, I think, going into the game, we knew that Vancouver was good on the counterattack and, can definitely catch you hanging. They did in our, when we went and traveled to Vancouver, they did the same thing to us. So, yeah, it felt like a good momentum, like you said, within the first 15 of the second half. One doesn't find the net, but that's where you just have to keep pushing on and, stay, the hardest thing to do is score. And right now the goals are easy against us right now. And, we really need to take a big look at that. Yeah, I think, we have the quality on the pitch. That's not a question in my mind, but it's a team sport. It's 11 guys out there and how they can best gel together. And right now we're not gelling. And, Hack can talk about and take accountability and all that, but I think it's the players. The players have to step up and have his back. And, everybody has to fight for themselves too.
Chris, Brian White has been very successful in the last 2 games against you guys. What specifically do you think he's brought in those 2 contests that have been a challenge for you guys in the midfield and the defense?
I think a lot of balls in behind. He's definitely very good in the air, and him and Gald have a very good connection. It's plain and simple. I think they've been effective. They work extremely hard, and if you're not focused, they'll catch you lacking. So, they're obviously a very hot duo in the league right now, and we have to do better. And they're the main guys on the team. We have to manage those guys better. It's a frustrating night on both occasions. Whether some are off the back heel and flicked over and deflections, it doesn't matter. We have to get bodies around, be physical, and take it personal when we're not doing our job right.
Can you talked about just not that long ago, things weren't like this. I mean, where does it begin? Where does this, crumbling start?
Just this a run of results. I think when you start to not win over a period of time, you start to have question marks and pointing fingers, and that's the worst thing in the sport is pointing fingers, talking behind people's backs, all of that. It's like I said, it's a group of 11 out there, and then another group of 5 other guys that come onto the field, 4 or 5. So we all have to find a way to sink together again. I believe in the character of the group. I think there's a lot of really good individuals on the team, a lot of good personalities, but something's not clicking right now. And I think it's up to not only the leaders in the group, but everybody to rise to the occasion right now, because there's nothing else to do. A lot of guys are out of contract next year. You're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your job. Plain and simple.
Chris, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
See you.
Hey, Nökkvi. This team right now, is it kind of coming apart?
No, I mean, bad performance today, but now's the time to stick together and problem solve. And I would not say that the team is falling apart or anything like that. We got back into the game today, so that's the positive. But now it's just a matter of problem solving together and focusing on the positive and bounce back from this.
What do you have to do to make that happen? Because it seems like there's a lot of work to be done.
Just problem solve together. Don't point fingers. We look in the mirror and try to improve each other. And now it's the time to help each other. And when we do that, I'm positive that we will bounce back stronger from this.
Justin?
Nökkvi, you've been asked to play a little out of position up top for the last month and a half or so and score twice against Vancouver now. Both results don't go your way, but before we get into that, like, how did it feel to grab that first goal, an equalizer, when you went down early?
It was always obviously a great feeling to equalize, but the feeling now after the game is shit. But yeah, it's always a good goal to. It's always a good feeling to score. So, and it was an equalizer goal, so it was an important one. But at the end of the day, we need to stick together now and get a result against Seattle.
As a striker, when you're out there up top, is it a little bit frustrating to get the goal, but then have that performance over the second half of the game go so sideways?
It's a team sport, so obviously I'm also a part of the loss. So it's collective. It starts up front with me. I'm the first defender, and so yeah, frustrating is the right word.
You guys have allowed 4 goals in like 3 of the last 4 games. I mean, defensively, what's not working?
It's just, I think at this point it's more a mentality thing rather than something tactical. And it's just, yeah, we need to want to defend the goal more than we have, and once we get that mentality back, I think things will start turning our way.
Between now and your next game on Wednesday, what's your guys' like top priority, or what's the team's top priority?
Come together, talk, go over what went wrong and fix those things, and yeah, just switch our mentality, because like I said, I think it's more of a mentality now to just stick together and problem solve together and not point fingers, and I know we will do that, and we will change things. It will go our way.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.